It's getting late. Won't you get some sleep, my darling? Rest for the day. Dream of golden fields and barley. It can't get you now. I will keep you safe and sound. Honey, reach out for the clouds. Morning will be back on our ground. Prayers and hymns sing. Soon you'll return. Songs and birds sing. Oh, back to where I'm from. Riding the road back to where I'm from. It's getting late. Won't you get some sleep, my darling? Rest for the day. Dream of golden fields and barley. It can't get you now. I will keep you safe and sound. Honey, reach out for the clouds. Morning will be back on our ground. Prayers and hymns sing. Soon you'll return. Songs and birds sing. Oh, back to where I'm
Hello, everybody. How's it going, Quindy? We're getting close to the end of this stupidly massive project. And, oh, what did I do? I did something funny on my computer. Right, so this, you know, we've got all the major parts built. They're kind of disassembled right now because I've been doing a lot of dry brushing and other stuff like that. But I'm to the point where I'm starting to think about the smaller details to some degree, like the kind of rubble that appears along the base of where, you know, part of the wall has fallen down and collapsed. I already have that back part all detailed up. But one of the things that the game has, I'm not sure if the first version of Shadow Colossus has this or not, but certainly the remake does, has some little like fire, what are these called? Sconces? They're not like torches, they're not candles, it's like a fire pit with like, you know, a metal thing around it. There's a word for that. I can't think of what it is. Hey, Tyler. How you doing? Welcome. So to that end, I got a bunch of cheapo little fake candles. And they do what fake candles do, which is flicker in a really fake way. So this is what it does. Yeah. Wow, I don't actually see any flicker. Is it? No, it has to be that way. Okay, there it goes. Yeah. You can see a little bit of that. And so one way to make it better, I believe, brazier, I think that is the word I was looking for. Definitely not Frasier. So having multiples of these put together is a way to kind of offset that single flicker effect. Now, I don't want to have a whole, you know, like round big candle thing. I want just the flame. So I'm trying to make the smallest like footprint for this thing as possible so that it can be all decorative iron cage around it, basically. So to that end, I'm just popping these apart, getting down to the bare bones of it, which is an LED and a battery. And I'm wanting to cluster these together in such a way that I can merge them together into one flame that has a little offset flicker action to it. So the tricky part is, how do you turn it on and off when it's taken out of this, you know, it's convenient shell that has a convenient switch, right? So one way people do this is by basically building a little structure that the LED sits in, and then you just slide the battery into it. So I think I'm going to try that. What that means is that I'll probably end up with these LEDs sort of slotted together, and I'm trying to figure out what is the best way to actually build this. So one way is I can just like make a hot glue blob, more or less, that's going to be the base of the flame, stick them in place, and then make sure that make sure that the the batteries will fit. That's my biggest concern. I would like to not have them stuck in place permanently until I get everything arranged into one arrangement. You know, you want to arrange things in an arrangement. And I think I have enough of these. I probably want to make... So I've got the things they're going to be on. Let me give you an example here. Yeah, so right there you can see. I'm just going to grab this as an example, and then... Oh man, I brought all this stuff out and I put it somewhere. Here it is. Okay. So, little dangly chain bit here. And what I'm trying to do is have these braziers hanging from these sticky outy bits. In the game, they just kind of stick out there. I don't know why. I imagined that this would be a good use for them, so that you could hoist your lights up or down, depending on where you want them. And yeah, so having the battery and the LED all in one thing down here would be great. And then when I'm ready to do, you know, when I want them lit up, I want to be able to just like press the batteries into place, and they would be disguised in some kind of base. And so that's the part I'm trying to figure out now, is like, how do I dangle this in a nice way that works with this? And I have, so this one's broken off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Technically I have 5. I don't need to have all 5 of them going. This is ruins after all. There's no reason not to have a bunch of them broken off or discarded. So to that end, having the batteries hang straight down, I think is not what I want. I would rather them be flat, so that the base can be as thin as possible. Again, oh, sorry, trying to figure out the framing of this camera. That's the wrong way. There we go. Okay, so I need to err on this side, not the other side. Yeah, so I want them horizontal instead of vertical, unless the lights are coming out. Interesting. I wonder how many lights one battery can actually legitimately power, or if the brightness is diminished by having a bunch of them. Because if I could get away with one battery for 2 or 3 LEDs, that's awesome. That makes figuring out the logistics a lot easier. Okay, so I can indeed have 3 of them going off of one battery. And again, ideally, the configuration is this way, so the flame can be built that way, but that has that dangly down bit. However, if it is limited to the thinness of one battery, that is helpful because, you know, if I was not completely incompetent with electronics, I could just solder wires to these and run it wherever I want. But if I can solve this with visual design instead of engineering, that's my strong suit, not the engineering suit. So I'm going to try it this way first. So if I can basically configure these so that there's an even slot going like that. It's the kind of pressing them together that I'm also a little unsure about. But let's try something. Let's grab some hot glue. So if whatever the housing I end up building for this includes a wire that kind of pulls these together. And it looks like this wire must be conductive because it's shorting out. Uh-oh. Huh. I don't know why I lost everything there. But it's back, mostly. Yeah, ideally I could get like a super bright LED. Well, ideally I can get a real fire going there so that I can get real fire effects. But, now that I think about it, because I am just doing this for a photo and video shoot, I wonder if it wouldn't make more sense to actually use real fire. Something to think about. We'll see how far I can get down this path first. Trying to figure out what is the... Oh, right. So the way these switches work is basically one arm of the LED is always touching the bottom of the battery, and then the switch just pushes the other arm against the battery, the side of it there. So I could maybe do something similar where the battery is always there. I could just put a slip of paper or something in that keeps it unactive. What is the word I'm looking for? Oh, electronics. I'm so bad at you. And I keep running into this problem where it just stops working. I'm trying to figure out why. Is it like, I don't think it's because these wires are touching each other. I don't think it's draining the battery. let's see. If they do touch each other, does that wreck things or not? I don't know. Let's see. Short ones going to, yeah. Okay, so that's cool. I can twist those ones together. Can we get away with twisting these ones together? Because the fewer points of contact I have to deal with, the less I have to worry about it not working. Yeah, okay. These are very handy little wire bender shapers. Used to make a little, essentially a crab claw, so it wants to grab on at all times. Yeah, and then as long as one is touching, they're all touching. Yeah, okay, nice. That makes it a lot easier to deal with then. Okay, so if that's the case, then I can, with a little more confidence, go ahead and add some more glue flame. Although, look at that. Why does it keep stopping? Is there an orientation that it needs to be? That's concerning. Is it burning through the battery super fast because there's 3 of them? Yeah, look how much brighter this one is. Okay, maybe it's important to keep them separated. Let's do a test. Pop 3 more out and try a different approach. See what kind of difference that makes. Okay, let's see if we can find a way to configure these that's solid and consistent. Okay, so if the wire touches both the side and the bottom, it's not going to work. It has to be only side and only bottom. Okay, so what does that mean? That means if I move this, like, have one of the little arms up, bending it a little bit so it follows the natural contours better. And I guess I can bend this in more. Yeah, it's building a housing for this to slot in and out that I'm trying to figure out. And then I can put an array of 3 of these next to each other. Okay, and then again, compared to this, bright without battery, still dim with this one. It seems about the same. Maybe it's just a fluke that it was getting dim. Let's leave it on here for a little bit and see if it starts to dim. Curious, if I actually put this in its context, are we going to see anything? Like, ideally it's casting a flickering light on the stones around it. Which, yeah, I guess it's doing something. It's not, definitely not as much as I would like, but also I suppose to scale, like the brighter it is, probably the less it's going to work for the scale that it's representing. Or maybe I'm just talking myself into doing it the lazy way. Ah. So, the cool thing with having them all together is that I can then have the battery go in horizontally. Okay, so from a design perspective then, it's my beautiful sketchbook here. We've got a chain coming down, and then we've got a base that I want the fire on, right? So we can resolve this by having the chain split into multiple things, and then there's this sort of pan sort of shape. Or we do sort of a bird cage looking thing, right, with like iron bars or something. The fire's in there and then the thing goes up from there. So that's another approach. The thing with the chain I'm a little bit worried about is because the whole diorama is like on a big spinning thing and I'm going to be like rotating it back and forth during the shoot. The more chain stuff there is, the more chance there is for everything to just like get unbalanced or fall apart. The more solid these things are, the less likely that is to happen. So I think I want to explore this direction first. So basically I'm looking at a cylinder, which is actually very similar to what we have here. I would just probably want it shorter. Makes me wonder if I can start with that, or if that's, I don't know. I've got these other things to look into. I've got all these other design elements that I've used elsewhere in the diorama. None of those are flexible. Let's see. I know I cast some in more flexible resin and some in less. Yeah, so this one's really flexible. So I could do something like this. And then like bend some wires up to make a sort of a cage-like thing. I could have my fire. Oh, that's an interesting thought. I could actually build the fire so I can pop it out of there, put the battery in, and then just put it right back in place. Like that. Now I'm just trying to think if having a thing like this is actually helpful. Maybe like a bottle cap that is less deep would do the trick. Hold on. I got a whole bucket of bottle caps. I guess it's a bin of bottle caps, not a bucket. I apologize for false advertising. These make nice little paint palettes and stuff. Alright, yeah, so I'm thinking something like this could work. Yeah, because I could just set it in like so. And if I wanted to go smaller, would it actually fit in something like this? I really wish it would. I always have this issue with LEDs. I don't know if it's because of the way I work with them. Am I breaking them off somehow by moving them around too much? I don't know, but they'll just be really temperamental with me. Is it done or is it the battery? Huh, yeah, maybe these are just burning through battery really fast with 3. If any of you know anything about electricity and want to tell me Is that what I'm doing? Am I actually burning through these batteries by attaching 3 LEDs to one? Hey, ding dong diddly. Let's see. So, yeah, that's. I don't know if it's better or worse than this. I feel like keeping it a little bit bigger is better. We've got 3 of them. I feel like 3 is a fine number. Maybe 4 would be a little better. Let's see how far we get and how long it takes to make each of these. Like, the thing that doesn't make sense to me is that it'll be working fine, and then I'll move it and it'll stop working, which you would think is a mechanical issue with things touching things properly, like the connections. Let's try putting it back on this battery again and see it. Yeah, why? What the heck? Like, do batteries just get tired and need a breather, and then you use them after a couple minutes and they're back to normal? That does not make sense. I mean, I'm not an electricity expert, but that really doesn't seem to make sense to me. Okay, let's look at how we want to decorate these guys. The answer is not with these pieces. Maybe with these pieces. Yeah, and then I could do some sort of medallion on the bottom, I think. Decorative medallion. Ooh, actually, I do have some of these. I wonder if I could cut these to shape. See how hard these are to cut. I made these by pressing it into a crystal goblet that I got at like the bottom of some kind of crystal cup or tumbler or something I got at Goodwill. Let's get a little soft for this. This might be a little too aggressive, or it might be perfect. Let's find out. You think the nargles are to blame? That tracks. When in doubt, blame the nargles. No. not be surprised. Probably doesn't matter. Think I should ninja slice it. Oh, you know what I should do is I should glue it to the bottom, then cut around it. Wow. Mr. Butterfingers today. Just call me Mr. Butterfingers. Some of these may be easier to do this with than others. So this is, I think, a different kind of resin, but I don't think I'm going to be able to extricate the bottom of this cup, which might be fine, but let's see. Margarine hands. UHF is my second favorite comedy. Pretty much got it memorized. And this is yet again a totally different material. I don't think I'm going to be able to like truly center these properly, but I also think at the angle you're seeing them at, and it's on the bottom and it's in the dark, I don't think it matters much. It's just there to make it so it's not unfinished and flat.
We have a photocopier, right? It's attached to the printer?
Maybe.
Yeah, what's the thing at the top?
We have a scanner.
Is that the same as a photocopier?
I think it'll work. I don't know.
I saw a really interesting thing about taking photos with it. Like
Taking photos
pushing
with
your face up against it and shit like
Oh.
that. But like it makes really crazy things. You can put like flowers on it, just stuff. I'm like, that could make pretty cool album covers.
That'd be fun. First favorite comedy would have to be Princess Bride. I'm a basic like that.
Making progress.
Yeah. Closer every day. Almost every day.
So how are you going to color match the rock there compared to this? You're going to paint like just you get like a grate, like some sort of filter, and spray gray over it to make it.
No, I use a makeup brush with grayish paint.
Okay, so this is just the underlayer.
What's that?
Is this just the underlayer?
It's
Because like the stone there is much different from the stone there.
right. Yeah.
But are you just making some?
I'm gonna try to find some way to blend it together. I'm not sure. It may not matter once like all the lighting is in place and stuff.
Yeah.
You probably won't notice, but.
Or you could like make it a different kind of rock, maybe form differently, and just kind of have a couple spots where it's the same thing.
Nice.
And the camera
Yeah, I was
doesn't
thinking of
look-
bringing some, because I still have the color accents in the rest of the rock. I just wanted to get it to the point where I got all this stain and dry brushing and stuff before I did that. Yeah, if you guys want to see what Shane's talking about there, you can see there's like a difference between that part of the rock right there in that area and then the rest of the rock. The rest of the rock has a little more color variation in it because one of the things that I put that much color variation in here back when I built this, but the wash ended up making it so dark that when I brought it back with the dry brush, it pretty much like got rid of all the color. Well, a lot of it. So with this later part, what I did was I went in and made the colors initially way brighter, like lighter and brighter this time. And now when I do the wash and the dry brush, which I've done on that now, I have a lot more color variation in it, which I like a lot more. I think you could even, like those bricks there, you can see the little bit of reds and blues and yellows, etc. You don't see it as much there. So I've got to figure out, am I going to do a little repainting on those rocks to make them match those, or am I just going to let it slide? I don't know yet. We'll see. Now this one I know I can center. Oh no, just kidding, I don't know, because the center of the cup that I pressed the clay onto the thing is not necessarily centered with the actual motif itself. In fact, it looks quite off-center. Just kind of feel it by finger and eye. Let's see how close I get. Okay. This one has had some time. Let's put that in. Pretty flexible stuff here. Like a jewelry saw would be able to get the go around it better, but I think it would be a lot slower. It looks like the hot glue is not holding up to the torque that I'm putting on it. Yeah. If I rough this up with sandpaper, it'd probably do better. Yeah, so I can just get the rough shape in there with this real quick and then sand the edges down to match. Oh no, lost the battery. Is this a better way to do it? I guess not. So just rough that in, and then put that around like that, and then put this in like that. And we kind of roughly got what I'm going for. Yeah. I think that'll work. Oh, is this hot glue not going to come off? So hot glue likes this kind of plastic, but it does not like the resin. I kind of want to remove it just because I want it to be as like low profile as possible. I don't know why. I think again it comes back to that scale thing, like the thicker and fatter things are, typically the more they give away that miniature look. Let's see if I have, I got some sandpaper here. Lift that up. Rock this up. What about you, Tyler? What's your favorite comedy? Give me 1, 2, and 3. My number 1, Princess Bride. Number 2, UHF. Number 3, Holy Grail. I feel like it's probably best to glue this part on first. And then I guess putting the wires in, because I could put the wires on the outside of this and then wrap these around, or I could put the wires on the inside, which does take up real estate for that. Should also double check to see that I have enough of these that are flexible enough. This one's flexible enough. This one is, yeah, I might snap a little bit, but it's close. Oh, that one is clearly not up to the task. Another one that's not quite. My bin o' textures. Don't be jelly, all my textures. Okay. So I've got 3. The ones that are definitely flexible enough. Four. Okay, cool. Got plenty of these. And then I want to make 2 more because I really feel like that top shelf there is really gonna pop. If it's got these little thingies. Uh-oh, memory card full. Not gonna let me focus because the memory card is full. I love that feature on this camera. Basically flanking that back door there, if there's one under each of those little things. Hold on. Take out the memory card and see if that fixes the problem. Now am I allowed to focus? Yes. Yeah, so see those little like pagoda looking things? Oh my god, where's my finger? Right, there we go. Okay, so right there and right there. I think having torches under those would really be cool. And with those, come to think of it, I could straight up just decorate one of these. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, and to decorate that, I'm going to use a little more, like that back area is just in general more decorated than the rest, so I'm going to use something a little fancier. Something like that. I think I have flexible ones of these. Not really. No, actually. Ooh, nope, crack. This is Black Magic cosplay clay stuff. This definitely goes with the overall architecture, what we have back there. So if I could use this, I think I should. But most of these are done in rigid stuff. I only need enough to go around like about 3/4 of it, because it's going to be up against the wall, so the back doesn't actually need to be covered. Ah, here we go. Super Flexi Boy. How much do I get out of this one? I can go around. I could get away with cutting this in half if I have to. Prefer not to. By the way, if you're wondering where I got these, these are from fondant molds that I just got at the craft store and then cast with a variety of things: resin, clay, epoxy, etc. Just whenever I'm using these kind of materials, I always have these molds out so that I can put any excess in the molds, and then this allows me to have my little sort of extra bits box like this. What about this one? Nope. That's another interesting thing to consider. Oh. If I do that, I actually can have a little bit of a more interesting silhouette, I guess you could say. That might actually beat out my other idea. Let me find more. This one's rigid. Rigid. Oh, wait. The last one right here is not rigid at all. Yeah. So I could just cut out these edges. Yeah, that'll totally work. Okay, cool. just occurred to me, I think I have a big pile of doilies that I probably could just do the same thing pretty easy, but I'm already committed. Oh, wow. It doesn't even give me 2 lumpy bumps. Is this different? Did I just waste all my time? What's going on here? Are these different? No, it's the same distance. Weird. I guess I could still go with these ones. That gives it a little bit of an interesting ridge. Let's try that. This would be easier to do with a hobby knife. Well, this guy's been going for a good like 45 minutes just fine. So I think I'm going to say comfortable enough with that configuration. Give it a little bit of character and ruinedness by just adding a few little chips and dings here and there. Wrong tool for the job, buddy. This is paint mixed with Mod Podge, so it's going to give me a gluey surface. Use my not black pepper. Give it a little bit of sort of a look of coal or charcoal or something in there. I guess I might as well use that to put a little better base coat on here as well. think that'll work nicely. Let's go back. Nope. Wrong lid, wrong container. Back to our dangly bits. What were we doing? We were, yes. Gonna glue these guys on first. Why you no cut?
I am going to reset my computer. Do you have a large thumb drive or one of those hard drive things?
Yeah, I can get it to you in 15 minutes.
Okay.
Let's see. If I follow the tips of that particular ring of diamonds, it has to be round. Those are the rules. It has to be. Okay. Yeah. That's looking good. Try something here. Why? What is it doing? Why does a different battery like fix it? And then sometimes it just goes dead. Why? What is happening? Like, it's definitely not that it's... Oh, wait, maybe it is. No? I'm trying to be very careful to see, like, is it touching... Are any of the wrong ones touching the wrong sides? But does not appear to be the case. Anyway, the point being, I thought, hey, can I just use hot glue to kind of make the top of it conform to a battery? Because I assume I'll be able to pull the battery out from under some hot glue. Famous last words. You know, the other thing I should try, instead of hot glue, I should try UV resin. A little more control over that, because I can shine the light on it to quickly get it to stay where I want it. hot glue is a little less predictable. Either way, let's see how that works. All right. Hey, Kodiak. I am working on, what did we end up calling this? Braziers. There we go. Yeah, braziers to go into my temple complex diorama thing back there. So I'm imagining these things sitting back there, and then also dangling off of those like stone protrusions. There's a stone protrusion, right? Oh, it's hiding behind the camera, right behind that camera wiggle. Take my word for it. Oh, hey, there you go. There you can see stone protrusions. Right there. So dangling braziers off of there. Okay, so if we're happy with that, the next thing to figure out is the hanging apparatus. So this will be hanging from a chain. And do we do the thing where we just do a couple chains coming together, meeting in one big chain, or something else? I also thought these might work as a cool decorative element. Actually, yeah. Hanging from there, that looks pretty good. And then I could also imagine, oh my god, what? Why? Stop it. There you go, for all that you missed because it was blurry. It's got a little nubbin on it now. I think that looks nice. But the chains could go up into this and then exit this in one big chain. Or they could be, you know, look sort of like iron rods. So I want to try the iron rod thing first. Well, actually, let's look at the chains that I have available to me before I make that choice. What do I have the most of? Oh, I really like this one. Ah, of course. The one I like the most, I have the least of. Although I might have enough for, well, I was going to do 4 of them. Depends on how long they are, obviously. Oh, that's quite a bit longer than I thought. So if we did 3 on each of these, I feel like that's about the right length. So that would be 1, 2, 3. I only have enough for 3 if I use these. This looks like another good choice, and I definitely have a lot more of it. Assuming I could ever untangle it, you know, always a big assumption. Yeah, I like these. Okay. I do got all them chains. So probably best to actually, you know, I could probably get away with hot gluing these into place. But I would be a little bit worried that's not going to hold up. Well, I'm also probably going to be coating these with UV resin and blasting them so they're like super stiff. Because again, I'm going to be rotating this stuff around a lot and I don't want them flopping and shaking around. So maybe it's fine to just hot glue. I can always hot glue now, and if it starts falling apart, I can get a little more serious about it. How do I find a third? There's a way to measure that, but I don't remember what it is. So instead, I'm going to eyeball it. Try to make equal pie wedges in here. Oh, and look at that. We are at the time where it's time to go find someone cool to raid. So let us go do that. If you're into this kind of stuff, check out my YouTube channel. It's at Josh Foreman. My last video was about making that part of the diorama. And it's pretty and you'll like it. And I do some funny special effects. So check it out. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye. Bye.
Okay, we're working on reaper ventures now. We're changing the strain.